good morning to all of you. So let us start with the next unit today, that is the engineering ethics. So in this we are going to learn a very important topics being engineers. So we must know about the engineering ethics. So in engineering ethics, important topics to be covered are they are what is engineering ethics? What are the different approaches of the engineering ethics? Senses of engineering ethics, variety of moral issues, inquiry, types of inquiry, what is meant by moral dilemma, steps to solve moral dilemma, moral autonomy, definition, conscious and controversy, profession, professional, professionalism definition, ethical theories about right action, personality, self-control, self-interest and self-respect. So these are very important topics. Being engineers, we must know what all these mean, and we try to adopt the topics what we learn in this chapter in our day-to-day life and also for our profession. So let us start with the first session. Okay, in the first session, we are learning about introduction to engineering ethics, approaches to engineering ethics, and senses of engineering ethics. So first, let us start with what is engineering ethics. Okay, so in this, you can see that first, the introduction is given. So why do we learn the engineering ethics? What are the aims of learning the engineering ethics? What are the objectives? Objectives andru andre, aims andru andre. So here, being engineers, so first we should know what is ethics. Okay. So ethics here already we have learned in the first chapter in detail. So we have learned about the values. So which should be the values to be adopted from every individual, and what are the moral values and ethics, and also we have studied the difference between the ethics as well as the morality. So in engineering the ethics, we are learning the ethics related to engineering profession. So engineering profession ಗೆ ಏನ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಡೆ ethics ಇರಬೇಕು. ethics ಅಂದ್ರೆ basically what it is, which is good, which is bad. So what is the best step we have to follow? So what is the right step we have to follow, which we should avoid? So ನಾವು ಯಾವ್ದು ರೀತಿ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕು, ಯಾವ್ದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್, ಯಾವ್ದು ರಾಂಗ್ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ನಾವು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, ಅದರಿಂದ ಏನ್ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಬರ್ತೈತಿ. So when we do the project in engineering field, so whether it is going to give a good result, or whether it is good for the society, or whether it is good for the nation or not. So ಅದು ಸರಿಯಾಗಿದ್ರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಚೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Otherwise if it is giving a wrong result, if it is harming the society, if it is harming the nation, in that case we should not take that project. So this thinking of whether that is right or whether it is wrong, so which way we should choose, which is the right path to be chosen by the engineers. So that is actually told in the professional ethics being engineers. So we should learn engineering ethics. Okay, so what are the objectives? So engineering ethics, the objectives in nodile, first we should know the understanding the moral values that are desirable to guide the engineering profession or practice. So first ನಮ್ದು ಏನು ಗುರಿ ಇರಬೇಕು, objectives ಏನಿರಬೇಕು, ನಾವು ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಏನು ನಾವು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ first we should know first engineering related moral values that are desirable to guide the engineering. ಸೊ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಯಾವ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಆ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನ್ಗೆ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಯಾವ ಮಾರಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಮಗೆ ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ವಿ ಶುಡ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ದಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ರಿಸಾಲ್ವ್ ದ ಮಾರಲ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನ್. ಸೊ ಇಶ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ರೀ. ಸೊ ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗ, ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗ, ಸೊ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತಾವೆ ನಿಮಗೆ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಅ ಸೊಸೈಟಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್, ಇಟ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್, ಆರ್ ಇಟ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಅ ನೇಷನ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ನೀವು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಅನ್ನ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂತಂತ ಚೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಅದನ್ನ ಹೇಗೆ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು, ವಾಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ದ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ಸ್ ಆದವರು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಟೇಕನ್ ಆಸ್ ರಿಸಾಲ್ವ್ ದ ಮಾರಲ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನ್. ಓಕೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಜಸ್ಟಿಫೈ ದ ಮಾರಲ್ ಜಡ್ಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನ್. ಸೊ ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮಿಗೆ ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತೀರಿ. ಆ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ನೀವು ಜಸ್ಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಅದು ಸರಿನೋ, ಯಾಕೆ ನೀವು ಹಾಗೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ, ವೈ ಯು ಡಿಡ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್, what the solution you have given is correct or not. So you should justify to the society. ನೀವು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬಾಸಿಗೆ ನೀವು ಜಸ್ಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತೈತಿ, ನೀವು ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ಸಿಗೂ ಜಸ್ಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತೈತಿ, ಅಥವಾ ಅದರ್ವೈಸ್ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್, ಟು ದ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಗಿವ್ ದ ಜಸ್ಟಿಸ್ ವೈ you have done the project like that, why you have chosen the solution like that. So you should give the reason. So that is called as a justify the moral judgments in the engineering profession. It deals with a set of moral problems and issues connected with engineering. So ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದು actually important ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ moral problems. So whatever be the solution you are finding for the ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್, ಏನೇ ನೀವು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅದು ಮಾರಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಸರಿ ಇದೆನೋ ತಪ್ಪಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನಾವು ವಿಚಾರ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತೈತಿ. ಸೊ ಮಾರಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಗುಡ್ ಇಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಗುಡ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್, ಇಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ harming anybody else, then we can give the judgment for that. Otherwise customer will not accept it. If it is harming to the society, if it is harming to the nation, then the customer will not affect it, we will not accept it. So that is why we should be able to justify our results, solution, how morally, and then it should be desirable and it should be good for everything. The solution, what the approach you are using, it should not harm the society, it should be beneficial to the society. So how you are telling? By giving certain judgments, by giving some reason for that. Okay, next, finding the set of justified moral principles, rights and ideals that are to be approved by the engineering and apply them to actual situation. So once if you find the solution here, once if you find the solution, then what you should do, those principles, so those principles, what the rights and what ideals, they must be approved by a society, engineering society ಅಂತ ಇರ್ತೈತ್ರಿ ಅದು. So they will be looking after the norms and regulations. So what the justification principles you are giving, that should be approved by engineering society. It's a team, it's a body. So then when they approve it, ನಿಮ್ದು ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ನಿಮ್ದು ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅವರು ಅಪ್ರೂವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಕನ್ಫರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, then you can apply to the actual situation. So you can bring into the real environment, then you can sell it in the market. So that is what actually this means. So these all are called as a objectives of engineering ethics. So why we should learn this? So what is the aim of learning the engineering ethics? So adanna idu these points will explain you. I think it is clear for you. Okay, next we are learning what is engineering ethics and definition of engineering ethics. So how to define engineering ethics? You can see here, engineering ethics is defined by the codes and standards of conduct endorsed or confirmed by engineering societies with respect to the particular set of beliefs, attitudes and habits displayed by the individual or group. So let me explain this. So engineering ethics ನಾವು ಹೇಗೆ ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ by codes of conduct ಅಂತ ನೀವು ಕೇಳಿರ್ತೀರಿ. ನಾವು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ನೀತಿ ಸಂಹಿತೆ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ನೀತಿ ಸಂಹಿತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಆರ್ ಮೇಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಎಥಿಕ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ಸ್ ಏನು ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಏನು ರೆಗ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಅವ್ರು ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಅ ಕೋಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಎಂಡೋರ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕನ್ಫರ್ಮ್ಡ್, ಯಾರು ಕನ್ಫರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಯಾರು ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಇವನ್ನ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಯಾರು ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ನಮಗೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡನ್ ಬೈ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಸೊಸೈಟಿ ಒಂದು ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಸೊಸೈಟಿ ಅಂತಂತ ಇರ್ತೈತ್ರಿ, IEEE ಅದು ಕೇಳಿರ್ಬೋದು. In the engineering society, our engineering society, it is nothing but is a committee, it's a body. So it is a group of members, so they will be framing some rules and regulations for engineers. So that is taken here as confirmed by engineering societies with respect to the particular set of beliefs. Or ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ rules and regulations by particular set of beliefs, attitudes and habits displayed by the individual or group. Okay, so ಅದರದೇ ಆದಂತ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ಗೆ, ಈಗ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ಗೆ ಅದರದೇ ಆದಂತ ಏನಂತಾವ್ರಿ ಅಟಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವ, ಬಿಹೇವಿಯರ್. ಹೀಗೆ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ. ಅಟಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವ ಅಥವಾ ನಮ್ದೇ ಆದಂತ ನಂಬಿಕೆಗಳಿರ್ತಾವ. ಸೊ ಆ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನ್ಗೆ ಅದರದೇ ಆದಂತ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವ, ಮಾರಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವ, ಬಿಲೀಫ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವ, ಅಟಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಹ್ಯಾಬಿಟ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವ. ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಡ್ ಬೈ ಹೂಮ್? By every engineer and also by every group of engineers. So those are working in a industry, they all should display these values, attitudes and habits, and this is confirmed by engineering society, and these rules and regulations must be followed by every engineers. So this is called as a engineering ethics. Okay, so I think the definition is clear for you. And one more thing you should know about engineers. Engineering is the largest profession. So engineering, it's not a small profession. ಇದು ಒಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ ಉದ್ಯೋಗ ಅಲ್ಲ. It is the largest profession. Everywhere you find the engineers, not only in Karnataka, all over the country, outside the country, in other countries also you can see that variety of engineers. Everywhere we find the engineers, and it is not only we are having the electronics and engineering field. There are automobile, mechanical, civil, so many fields are engineering. So that is why it is taken as engineering is the largest profession, and the decisions and actions of engineers affect all of us in almost all areas of our lives, namely public safety, health and welfare. So engineers ಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ನಾವು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, because the decisions and actions taken by engineers that will affect to whom? Directly to our lives and public safety, health, welfare. So these all are directly affected by the decisions of the engineers. So you all know the engineering is having both merits and demerits. So the technology is having both merits and demerits. So because of the technology, advancement in the technology, so ಈಗ ನೀವು ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ನೋಡಿರ್ತೀರಿ, ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್, ಟಿವಿ, fridge, electronics applications, ಇವೆಲ್ಲ technology applications. So these all are giving the comfort life. That is the merit of technology. Engineering products, projects, engineering the decisions ತಗೊಂಡು the project ನಾವು ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಕತ್ತೀವಿ ಈಗ. So that is used for the comfort of the society. That is the merit. But demerit ಏನಾಗ್ತವೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, sometimes the technology may give the adverse result. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ನೀವು ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡದೇ ಇದ್ದಾಗ that may affect what? Health of the public ಅಥವಾ ಸೇಫ್ಟಿ ಡೇಂಜರಸ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದ್ರಿ. Sometimes the technology may lead to adverse effects. It may affect the public safety and health. So both we will be having merits and demerits ಇದ್ದೇ ಇರ್ತೈತಿ. ಈಗ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ನಾವು ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಅದರದೇ ಆದಂತ ಅಡ್ವಾಂಟೇಜಸ್ ಡಿಸ್ಅಡ್ವಾಂಟೇಜಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವ. ಈಗ ಡಿಸ್ಅಡ್ವಾಂಟೇಜಸ್ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಸೊ ಗ್ಲೋಬಲ್ ವಾರ್ಮಿಂಗ್ ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲೈಸೇಷನ್, ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನಾವು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ, ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಪೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಇಂದ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಏನಾಗಕತ್ತೈತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಗ್ಲೋಬಲ್ ವಾರ್ಮಿಂಗ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಫೇಸಿಂಗ್. Some technological problems also we are facing. Acid rain, you might have heard acid rain. Matte war, dangerous weapons which are created by using the advanced technology, that may be also creating the problems to the nation. War technology. So these are all some disadvantages of this. So it is having both the ways, merits and demerits, but compared to demerits we are having more merits of engineering solutions. So that is why it is given here, the engineering decisions are directly affecting what? Our lives, namely public safety, health and welfare. So being engineers, so we are going to do certain projects in future, and you should see that you should always choose a project, you should always design a project such that it should be helpful for your individual life, for your organization, and it should be beneficial for the society, nation, and all over the world. It should not harm the society and also not harm the world or nation. So that should be the basic ethics of every engineer. So everyone should know about the ethics of engineering. Okay, I think it is okay. Here you can see that, so what is right or wrong we should decide in the ethics. Accordingly we should decide the what should be done in engineering field. So what are the approaches to engineering ethics? So what are the approaches here? There are two approaches. So engineering ethics again, two ways are there. The first way is micro ethics. Another one is macro ethics. So this is asked in the examination. State the two approaches to engineering ethics. And then question kedadaga, you need to answer like this. There are two ways of approaches, that is micro ethics and macro ethics, and what it tells here. First, microethics. Microethics, it deals with the decisions and problems of individuals, professionals, and companies. So micro, as you all know, it is very small. So ನೀವು electronics engineer ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ you know what is micro and what is macro. Micro is small, macro is bigger. Okay, so microethics, as the name itself tells, that it deals with the decisions and problems of whom only individuals or professionals or for a particular company. ಈಗ ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಒಳಗೆ ನೀವು ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತೀರಿ, ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಅವರು ಅವರದೇ ಆದಂತ ಸಮ್ ನಾರ್ಮ್ಸ್, ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅವು ಸೊ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಫಾರ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ. Those rules and regulations, those ethics are made only for that industry. So that is very small in nature. That is why it is called as a micro ethics. Okay. Macro ethics andre, as the name itself tells, that it is a bigger one. So you can see that, so this will be made for in a large area. You can see here it deals with the public problems on a regional or national level. So you ethics el madirtare andre for public problems in madirtara, matte it may be for regional, for national, or all over the world, global. So some global issues, examples nodi, global issues anta otivi. ಈಗ nowadays, now you are facing the global issue. What is that? COVID issue, COVID pandemic. So this is a global issue. So e global issue, so it is a challenging for everyone how to face it. So engineers igunu idondu challenging antana ತಗೋತಾರ. So ಏನು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಈಗ ಮೆಡಿಕಲ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ನವರಿಗೆ ಇದೊಂದು ಚಾಲೆಂಜಿಂಗ್. So it is not only for Karnataka, it is not only for India, it is all over the world. Every country is facing this problem. So for such global issues, what are the ethics should be made? What should be the approach? So that we call it as a macro ethics. So this is one example what I have given. So like that, ಈಗ acid rain ಅಥವಾ ಡೆಪ್ಲಿಷನ್, ಓಝೋನ್ ಡೆಪ್ಲಿಷನ್ ಲೇಯರ್, ಓಝೋನ್ ಲೇಯರ್ ಡೆಪ್ಲಿಷನ್ ಕೇಳಿರಬಹುದು ನೀವು. So these are all problems. So they are not concerned to a particular area, they are concerned to all over the world. So for such issues, how to face it, what should be the solution for that, what are the rules and regulations should be made. So that is a bigger area to be concentrated. So for that we call it as a macro ethics. Okay, I think it is clear for you. The approaches to engineering ethics are micro and macro ethics, and each are having a different meanings depending upon the names they are explained here. So after this we have a census or meaning of engineering ethics. So engineering ethics ಬಗ್ಗೆ sense ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆ, meaning, so that we are learning here. So we have two senses to engineering ethics. What are those? The first one is normative sense. The second one is descriptive sense. So let us take in detail one by one. That is, first one is normative sense. What actually it tells about? Knowing moral values, finding accurate solutions to moral problems, and justifying moral judgments in engineering practices. So normative sense ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ರಿ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಆಗಿರುವಂತದ್ದು. ಸೊ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಒಳಗೆ, ಸೊ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ನೋ ದ ಮಾರಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್. ಸೊ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡಿಗೆ ಏನೇನು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಮಾರಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಅವರು ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ನಮಗೂ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆ ಇರ್ತೈತಿ. ಫೈಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಕ್ಯುರೇಟ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್, ಏನೇ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಅಕ್ಯುರೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಡಿಸೈರಬಲ್ ಒನ್ ಟು ಮಾರಲ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಜಸ್ಟಿಫೈಯಿಂಗ್ ಮಾರಲ್ ಜಡ್ಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ನೀವು ಏನ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಏನೇ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಅದನ್ನ ನೀವು ಜಸ್ಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡುವಂತ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ರೀ. ಯಾಕೆ ನೀವು ಆ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ, ಯಾಕೆ ಆ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ನೀವು ಚೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನೀವು ಒಂದು ರೀಸನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ, ಜಸ್ಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡಿಸೈರಬಲ್ ಇನ್ ದ ನಾರ್ಮೇಟಿವ್ ಸೆನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ನೀವು ಏನೇ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ನೀವು ಏನೇ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಸೊ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ಜಸ್ಟಿಫೈ ಯುವರ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್, ವೈ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಡನ್, what is right. So you should be able to do that. So this is called as a normative sense. Next, study of decisions, policies and values that are morally desirable in the engineering practice and research. So ನೀವು ಏನು ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತಲ್ಲ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಒಳಗೆ, ಸೊ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸರಿಯಾದ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ಸ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕ್ರಿ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬೇಕು ನೀವು. ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದಟ್. ಪಾಲಿಸೀಸ್, ಏನ್ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, ಪಾಲಿಸೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನೀವು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಮತ್ತೆ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ದಟ್ ಆರ್ ಮಾರಲಿ ಡಿಸೈರಬಲ್. ಸೊ ಮಾರಲಿ ಡಿಸೈರಬಲ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಯಾವ್ದು ಸರಿ, ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಗುಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅಸ್. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಟೇಕನ್ as a morally desirable. So everyone being engineer, they should study the decisions, policies, values which are in the engineering practice and research. So engineering field nalli ಏನೇನ್ ಪಾಲಿಸೀಸ್ ಅದಾವ, ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದಿ ಮಾರಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ದೋಸ್ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿ ಸ್ಟಡಿಡ್ ಬೈ ಎವ್ರಿ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನಲ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಕೋಡ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಥಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಅಪ್ಲೈಯಿಂಗ್ ದೆಮ್ ಇನ್ ದೇರ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಬೈ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಕೋಡ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಥಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ಕೋಡ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಥಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ನೀತಿ ಸಂಹಿತೆ. ನೀತಿ ನಿಯಮಗಳನ್ನ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ಸಿಗೆ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅವನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು, ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಕೋಡ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಥಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ಸ್, ಅವ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ನೀವು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಅದನ್ನ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕ್ರಿ. ಎಲ್ಲಿ, ಆ ಫೀಲ್ಡಿಗೆ ನೀವು ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕೆಲಸಕ್ಕೆ ಅವನ್ನ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ದ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಮೇಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ಸ್, ದೇ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿ understood first, they must be studied first, and then they must be applied. For what purpose? In their transactions by engineers. ಸೊ ನೀವು ಅದನ್ನ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಡಿಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡೋದಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನೀವು ಅದನ್ನ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ಗೆ, ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ರಿ, ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಸೆಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ಸಿಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಸೆಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಟು ದ ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್. ಸೊ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಪುಟ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ರಿಯಲ್ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್. ಸೊ before putting that into the real market, into the customer, we should first give the judgment, what the solution we have given, whether it is right or wrong, and why we have made that project. So is it good for the society? ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಜಡ್ಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, ರೀಸನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, so that sense is called as a normative sense. Okay, so next, coming to the descriptive sense. So this is another way of telling the engineering ethics here. That is, descriptive sense ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿರ್ತದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, the descriptive sense refers to what specific individual or group of engineers believe and act without justifying their beliefs and actions. So ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ small difference you are finding in descriptive sense. So each individual or group of engineers will, what they believe and act, only they will tell, but they will not justify. ಯಾಕೆ ಆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಕತ್ತಾರೋ, why they are chosen that solution, why they are doing that. So they will not give the reason for that, they will not justify, only they do the work assigned to them, and what the solution they are doing, what the problem they are facing, for that they are not giving the justification. This is called as a descriptive sense. So the major difference between normative and descriptive sense is, here for every result the justification is given by the engineers, but in the descriptive sense they will do all certain belief, but they will not justify for the result what they are doing. So that is the major difference between normative sense and descriptive sense. Is that clear? Okay, so let me give the example for normative sense and descriptive sense. Best example from our students I got is, so eating vegetables, fruits daily, it's very good for health. We have to maintain this because it is very good for health. So this gives a normative sense. So just eating vegetables and fruits, just our forefathers have told, our parents are telling. So just eating, we believe that it is good, without any reasons, without any judgment. If we do, then it becomes a descriptive sense. And one more thing. So deciding a project, if our guide tells, so we have to do this project. Huh? Huh? In the what is the solution for that? Why we have chosen the project like that? With a certain accurate result, whether it is good for the society, in what way it is good for the society, what is the best solution for that. So if we judge that project, why we have chosen and what is the solution for that, then it creates a normative sense. Suppose if you do the project with a proper solution, and if we fail to give the reason why we have chosen that project, what is the solution for that, whether it is a good one or not, if we fail to give the judgment for that, then it gives a descriptive sense. So such examples you will be getting. Now I think it is very clear for you the difference between normative sense and descriptive sense. Okay, today we learned very good topics on engineering ethics, that is definition of engineering ethics and what are the objectives of engineering ethics, and what is meant by engineering ethics and senses of engineering ethics, and approaches microethics and macroethics, and senses normative and descriptive. With the help of examples we studied those two topics today. So let us stop here. I think it is very clear to you. Okay, bye.